Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing very well. We are, at the minute, showing off the deck list that you've just seen us play in the last video, which is the Rosemon versus Rosemon. So we'll start off easy with the eggs. We run 5 eggs, and the 4 copies that we run for this deck is Pokemon from EX4. Just when an effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw 1. There's a lot of suspension. We want to make sure we see our key pieces. We're going to go through the deck very fast, and then also you're running 1 single copy of the BT12 Torikabalamon, just for the fact of when you play a green Digimon, gain plus 2000 DP for the turn. And because it is just either hand playing it or playing it out by an effect, you're going to gain that 2k DP just to help get over anything annoying on the board. If you can't bottom deck it or stun it with suspending it and not being able to unsuspend, then at least we can crash over it. With our level 3s, we're going to see about working our way back from the previous sets to the most up-to-date set. So for our BT9, 2 copies of Pulmimon, stopping our opponents from playing Digimon by an effect, as well as ourselves, with sometimes slowing down for us, helps us get over anything big on the board by slowing our opponents down even further as well. Just to help with that stunning and the additional draws, Palmon. At the start of your turn, and I've seen a couple of videos online where people have got a wee bit confused with this card. Palmon is start of your turn, so whenever your memory goes to 3, this is whenever this kicks off to do the additional draw. But yeah, that's 2 copies BT11 Palmon, and then we go back to our further from the previous set, BT10 Palmon. I kind of did this a wee bit because 2, 4, yeah. Reveal top 4, add 1 plant vegetation, and then 1 fairy. It is just such a brilliant cycler for the deck, for not just Rosemon but even Bloom Lord. Anything that is heavily to do with plant vegetation, it's just an amazing cards to have for searching all your materials. Getting 1 hits or 2 hits is just brilliant. And speaking of getting 1 or 2 hits, our last 4 set of rookies is BT13 Lalamon, revealing top 3, adding a Tamer Yoshino, and then grabbing 1 with plant vegetation or fairy. And with the inheritable, while you have a green Digimon in play, green Tamer in play, this Digimon can reduce Digivolution cost by 1. It's just really great. Just doing what green decks do best, which is cheap Digivolution cost, as well as being able to build the board fast or build the line fast before going into
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a thing.
So my really weird champion lineup. I run a card all the way back from BT1, and it's the single copy Vegemon, and it's only against decks that do slow DP reductions. So it's like, if it's early game, play this out, and they need to reduce DP, this isn't going to die straight away with like Marcus Demon. This is going to live through the Marcus Demon memory center, and kind of helps us so whenever we want to build our board up a little bit further. Then after, we're going all the way back up to BT10 with 2 copies of Red Veg. Same again with the Vegemon, they're both 1 cost Digivolution, so it helps just like fill up the board straight away. Either if you're going first, memory choke to 1, if not, then cost of 1, cost of 3. You're still keeping that memory choke down for your opponent. It's just brilliant as a vanilla cheap Digivolution, which is quite nice. And then staying on the BT10, I run 4 copies of Sunflowmon for the Wind Digivolving by suspending 1 of your green Digimon, so it doesn't even have to be itself, to play out a plant, vegetation or fairy with 3000 DP or less, which is basically near enough all of our rookies and champions except for the Vegemon, which is fine because we're going to Digivolve that in the back or we're going to hard play it, so it really doesn't matter. And then the inheritable, when a Digimon comes suspended, or when the effect suspends one of your Digimon on your turn once per turn, draw one. Absolutely fantastic. And then onto our last 4 copies of Sunflowmon from BT13. By suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Fairy and one of their traits in the hand, reducing the Digivolution cost when this Digimon with reducing it by 2, and then it's the same inheritable as Lalamon. While you have Green Tamer, this Digimon can reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So having this, the Digivolve, even if you have like a Rosemon line built and then this is still out in the field, you can just suspend this and make burst mode for the cost of 3, which is fantastic. And so instead of burst Digivolving and then trashing everything, then you've got this line. It's just really, really pretty. And it's like, it's been really fun. I've done it in a few games. People are like, oh, that's so bad. And I'm like, I know, but it's so good. Right. Under our ultimates, this has always been a green staple for any green deck, which is the Argomon for the Digisorption, making it the cost of 0 because you're -3. And then when attacking, you can play the inheritable when attacking. Play 1 level 3 green Digimon from your hand, suspended, without paying its Digivolution cost, which means, yes, there's more suspension on our side, so we can gain back memory, we can like gain so much back as it for itself. It's just amazing. I also run the single copy of Blossomon, still trying to figure out why it's been I still don't understand the whole thing being reduced. There's so many more annoying cards, but same reason, Digisorptions, making it 0. Sticking with the Digisorption, 2 of the Cherrymon, reducing the Digivolution cost down to 1 because Digisorption -2 from a 3. And then opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, it's not blocking, it's redirecting. Oh, so good whenever it's like, you cannot block, that's fine, I'm going to redirect the Cherrymon into something else. It's just absolutely brilliant. It keeps your security alive a bit longer whenever you need it. And then for 4 copies of Ultimates here, we are running the BT13 Lilimon. When Digivolving, play Yoshino from your hand without paying the cost. So grabbing it from our rookies, playing it from our ultimates, absolutely brilliant for the cost of 0. And then the inheritable, while your opponent has to suspend Digimon, this Digimon gains +1 security. It's just, and it is the lowest amount of ultimates I've ever had in any plant vegetation deck. I'm still getting used to it, still getting used to running a Tamer, but it's working. It is working. Now, under our megas, this is a Rosemon deck, so we are running the 4 copies of BT13 Rosemon. When Digivolving, by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, unsuspend this Digimon. All turns, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. You're just literally stopping your opponent from doing any additional checks or gaining stuff from the Tamers by minusing DP or getting any additional. It just helps pause the board to do a bit more your turn. For the other 2 megas that I run, it's support for Rosemon, and that is 2 copies of the EX3 Hydramons. I believe Hydramon is a brilliant staple for any green deck, especially plants and vegetation. Suspending opponent's Digimon, just suspend a Digimon on the field, but primarily you're suspending your opponent's stuff. Gaining the memory of it, all turns once a turn when an opponent's Digimon comes suspended, gain a memory for every other plant, vegetation, and fairy. It's just great. And then end of your turn, target one of your opponent's suspended Digimon, bottom deck it, getting rid of the line. It just makes your opponent have to restart so quickly. Same again, it is a Rosemon deck, so We're also, for our level 7s, Rosemon Burst Mode, we run the 3 copies. There could be a change, adding other stuff in the deck, maybe adding this to 4, maybe keeping it a 3, but I don't know yet. But just the burst Digivolution by adding the Yoshino back to hand, your memory setter to Digivol on the top of Rosemon for the cost of 0. Brilliant burst mode. When Digivolving, suspend opponent's Digimon or Tamer. So you get to suspend 2. And then nothing unsuspends until the end of your opponent's turn. Even whenever your opponent brings stuff and new out, hits with it, and they try to, like, trigger raid, restand. I'm sorry, but the raid's not gonna, the raid's gonna go through, but the restanding's not gonna work. Why? Because this keeps a blanket effect on the field. It's fantastic. And then when attacking itself, for every 2 either Digimon or Tamer on your opponent's side that is suspended, you get to trash the top of your opponent's security. So it's a mini Quartzmon, so instead of 5, it's 2. And because you're already suspending a lot of stuff, you might be able to suspend a lot of stuff with swarming, trashing a lot of cards, maybe 2-3 cards out of your opponent's security, and then do the additional +1 security with 15. Then that is 2 checks of 15, getting rid of the whole, you can get rid of 5 security in 1 turn if you're really, really lucky. And then, speaking of Quartzmon, we do run a single copy of Quartzmon. We all know what it does, BT12, it's just fantastic. Suspend all Digimon and Tamers. No Digimon and Tamers can unsuspend apart from Quartzmon. All turns, everything's stuck. When attacking, suspend opponent's Digimon or Tamer, and then for every 5 that is on the field on both sides, so it quibbles up to 5, maybe 3 and then 2, or 5 and 5, we get the trash 1 for every 5 that is suspended on the board. I've had this out with just Hydramon on the field, some smaller stuff like Cherrymon for redirects and stuff like that. Being able to swing in security, suspend something, Hydramon, gain additional memory back. Even if it was just like at start of turn, just swing, suspend, gain a memory back. Help me build a line bigger in the background, and hopefully get ready for the next turn, because I'm expecting everyone to target this to either get rid of it off the board, so whenever I'm ready to raise, I can take over the board again and control it. As we were talking about our Tamers Yoshino, I run 4 copies at the minute, just 4 copies. Whenever BT13 comes out, there's going to be a minor change, but at the minute, 4 copies. It's a brilliant memory setter. It's a brilliant effect. This is something that all plant and vegetation decks really needed. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a vegetation plant or fairy and retreats, suspend this Tamer, gain 1. So you can go in the Rosemon, suspend, gain the memory back, suspend stuff, you unsuspend this, suspend something else, add this back to hand after getting the memory, and then just digivolving straight into a burst mode on top of Rosemon. So you're getting so much value out of it. It's a lot of value. My spicy option cards, I don't think they're really that spicy, to be honest. As a staple, 1 copy of Hidden Potential discovered. Suspend one of your Digimon for one of your green Digimon to Digiball for reduced Digivolution cost by 5. Still Quartzmon for the cost of 1. Burst Mode for the cost of 0. It's just so good. Hydra for the cost of 0. I will never get this name right. Salamanti Santi. I may suspend one of my Digimon to suspend one of my opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Your opponent's Digimon card your opponent's card suspended with this effect can't unsuspend until the end of the turn. So it's helping to stun the board a wee bit as best as can. So I run 2 copies of them, and then the last 2 option cards I run are green memory busts. I feel like I can replace these and maybe a Quartzmon with BT14 Mimis, but at the minute just getting the whole, or even training cards, revealing top 4, adding 1 green Digimon among them, so anything that isn't searchable, like the Argomon and the Quartzmon that we have in the deck. At least we're not bottom decking them, we can rob them out of a search by using the green memory boosts. And then delay effect, trash gain 2. So that is my rendition of a Rosemon burst mode deck profile. I've really enjoyed playing this. I've had a lot of fun building and rebuilding this deck, even prior to BT13. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Any questions and queries, please leave them in the comments with Lumi here, and I'm always happy to hear any suggestions about it. Bye guys.